is a highly requested video on how I do my 90s inspired updos. Y'all, this is one of my favorite styles because it's very easy, even if you are using a wig like I am today. But of course, you gotta have a fly wig. So today I'm using Wild African's Pull and Go Glueless 360 Invisible Adjustable Strap Natural Curly HD Lace Wig with kinky edges, and I opted for the 𝐿 hairline. You don't have to do that, you guys. These edges change the game. If you have issues with making the lace blend with your skin, try the curly edges, you guys. It makes it so much easier. Now, depending on your overall style, you may have to do a little work to it, and you'll see me do that here. I had to do some work. Okay, I had to do some work because I chose the 𝐿 hairline and I chose curly edges. So we just ignite on top of ignite. I want y'all to pay attention to these silicone patches. Between that elastic, these invisible straps, you guys, the wig isn't going anywhere. Not only that, you can adjust it for your own personal size. No more wondering, is it big head friendly? Is it going to fit my small pea head? It fits all of them because you adjust the size of your cap and it is snug, okay? When you adjust it to your liking, it's not going anywhere. These curls are absolutely beautiful right out of the box. The hair is very soft, easy to work with. That's what you want when you know you're going to be doing a specific style. You want the wig to give you as many options as possible, and this absolutely does, you guys. So let's just jump into this styling. I'm gonna just tell you, this 90s inspired style coming up, this is one of my favorite styles to see the girlies wear. I never, like, my hair has always been super fine, so this was never a style that I tried to do on myself, just because, you know what I'm saying, some styles on me just look boneless pretty much. So, but I always loved when the real thick hair girlies will put their hair up in this particular style, and I thought it'd be really fun to recreate using this wig. Now here, as you can see, this right here will be, you know, it'll be up to your discretion. Now, the wig companies can't just make a universal 𝐿 hairline because our dimensions are different. The measurements between, you know, our hairlines and eyebrows are different and all those things. So there's probably going to be more lace there than you need. With me, that's always the case. So I always trim that hairline because if I don't, it's going to touch my eyebrows, okay? And that's not the look I'm going for. Now, this right here, you may not have to do, but I usually always have to tint my lace because I don't wear foundation these days. I'm using the exact color of my skin, so I'm not going deeper to match like a contour color or anything like that. It's the exact color of my skin. I absolutely love that foundation for foundation and for lace tint. Now here, I'm just loosening up the curls a little bit because as you saw in the beginning, it's really, really curly. And this particular style that we're doing is slick up about the front, okay? Now, we're not straightening those curls because those curls in the front are going to set the front, the edge, the hairline, the grown woman hair. It's going to set it off. So you want to keep the body and you want to keep the definition, but you just want to loosen it up to make it workable. And also, I'm not using all of the curly edges, so there's a lot there, you guys. There's a lot there. So if you look at it and you get overwhelmed, do not worry about the amount of curls. There are some people who really want to use all those curls, so you know it has to be on there. But if you don't want that amount of curly edges, you don't have to use it. Look how easy it is to just separate a little bit, just pull a little bit out, and the lace is lace-tabulous. Fabulous. That lace is so sweet. It looks so good, especially if you tint it like I do. Wow, it really is giving scalp, and you guys are gonna see that. Like, I was shocked when I was working with this particular style. I would just catch a glimpse and think to myself, wow, this literally looks like my scalp, my own skin scalp. So I absolutely love that. But you know, Wild African is known for their lace, their hairlines, and all that stuff. So I'm not surprised about that at all. But as you can see, I'm not using all the curls. The rest of them will be pressed down and runneth over like our blessings, okay? The rest of that will be handled. All right. Now, I'm using this 𝐻𝐸 to kind of just get the lace. I want it to be, you know, a slight hold there. So I just kind of want to get it steady and stable, because we are going to be doing a style where we're going to be pulling the hair up and all of that good stuff. So you can wear this glueless, but when you're doing updos and things like that, I personally choose to melt it down just because I don't want it to move while I'm styling the hair. So you absolutely don't have to do that if you don't want to, especially if you choose the curly kinky edges, because that covers the lace up. So wearing it glueless is a lot easier when you do have the curly edges. It just gives that illusion that you don't really see the lace. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier, but I choose to melt when I'm doing updos. It just makes the foundation more solid for me. Now, the curly edges that we pulled back, that we are not using for edge purposes, we have to blend that with the rest of the hair. So that's what I'm doing here. Now you want to be very careful, y'all. When I tell you it looks so natural, you got to remember, like, don't press it down on your head. Do not harm yourself with these hot combs, because when a wig is natural like this, when it looks seamless like this, baby, you could forget sometimes. Like when you don't see the lace super clearly, you just gotta be careful. It's ironically enough, you really have to be careful. So I just made a distinction between the hair that I'm probably going to be using in the front versus the hair that I'm not. And that hair is just going to be pulled back. Now here I am adjusting the size of my cap to fit my domology. This is one of the biggest flexes of this wig. The fact that you can adjust the size for your own measurements. You can adjust your size instantly, guys. So there's no more worrying about, you know, large versus small versus medium and all that good stuff. So that really plays a huge part, especially with updos, because you want your updos to look flat. You don't want them to look super puffy, if that makes sense. So that comes in handy, y'all. Look at this. Does that not look like, come on, y'all, that looks like scalp. That really, really just looks like I'm parting through my hair. Look at that. That is crazy. And to part through the hair, it was very easy. There was no, there were no tangles. I didn't have to struggle separating the sections, nothing, which, you guys, that really comes in handy when it comes to styling these wigs, because if you are frustrated while styling, you're not going to get the best result that you could get. Okay. And that's what we want. We want our best, our most favorable result. So you want your process to be as non-tedious as possible. And this wig made it so easy to maneuver this hair. Now this part right here, you want your front two sections to be slick, okay? You want it to be slick, like Crisco slick. That 𝐻𝐸 comes in handy, because the 𝐻𝐸, it's not sticky, but it kind of is, but it's not. There's a hold there that not all sprays have. So I don't know if you've ever seen someone do like a high ponytail where they're getting their hair together and they're spraying the 𝐻𝐸 on there and then blow drying it, and there's a reason for that. That 𝐻𝐸, the hold is different. It's like, it's really going to stretch that hair out, provide a shine, and provide a strong hold. So when we're talking ponytails and when we're talking molding into place, I like to use the 𝐻𝐸 for those type of styles, because each spray has its different strengths. So that's why I'm using 𝐻𝐈𝐑 on this particular style instead of what I normally use, which is my melt lace spray, which when I'm just melting the lace, bam, that's my favorite, hands down. But when it comes to molding and shaping, yeah, that 𝐻𝐈𝐑 has to be in the building. All right. So the whole purpose of that right there is to get that part flat and sleek. Now, those two sections can be as thick as you want them to be. All right. I didn't want mine super duper thick, but that's just, you know, my personal preference. So that's it. That's all. Now, you'll notice here that I did not spray this hair with water. Why? Because the curls were already beautiful right out the box. I did not want to wet it down and lose that body or, you know, anything like that. I'm just continually defining because I've been manipulating the hair. So I just want to get those curls back that may have been lost in manipulation, or I may have fluffed out while I have been manipulating the style. I did not want to drench the hair in water. The curls are already popping, y'all. The curls on this wig are absolutely beautiful. And when you add a little bit of that mousse, in the particular mousse that I use, the pattern mousse, there's a nice hold there, so it stays. Y'all, it's like a mix between a mousse and a hairspray for real, or a mousse and a gel. I absolutely love, if you want a nice hold with the mousse or foam properties, yeah, that pattern, that's where it's at. Okay. Now, when you are doing your ponytail, you're doing your half up, half down right here. You don't pull the hair all the way out, just bun it, as you can see right here. So act like you're doing a full ponytail. Right when you get to that last twist, just bun it, let the rest of the hair fall forward and off to the side with pride. And you can already see the style forming, right? Yes, yes, yes. That 90s inspired. And shout out to all the girlies who is doing this style, popping this style. You absolutely inspired this look. This was one of my favorite styles. Although I didn't do it myself, it was absolutely one, and I was relaxed back then too. So I didn't even know my curls. Honestly, I didn't even know my curls in the 90s. So, you know, coming up as a teenager, I was 100% raised in the 90s, but I was super relaxed. So I didn't know. So yeah, shout out to the girlies. Shout out to the girlies, because this style is one of the ones. It's one of the ones. Okay. Now, for this, because the edges are like the natural curly edges, you can leave them as they are. You don't have to do any of this. And I just want to be clear, it's going to look like your natural edges. Okay. So you don't have to do any of this. Not only do you not have to do any of it, but it's still going to look good because you have the wig curly edges that are there, and you get to determine how much of those edges you want to use. So if you remember, I pulled some of them back into the slick parts because I didn't want to use all those edges. You use however much you want to use. The edges are plentiful on this wig, so if you want to use all of them for edge purposes, use all of them. If you don't want to, pull the rest back. Pull the amount that you want to use forward. The rest can go back into the style. So, and for this, it was very easy. I just hot combed it back, slicked it down, sprayed it with the 𝐻𝐈𝐑. It got right into formation. So at this point, you're pretty much finished with the style. Everything else is grooming, you know, just putting the finishing touches on your design. You're designing a style right here. Look at that, y'all. Come on now. Where's the lace? Where's the lace? I absolutely love Wild Africans lace. They do not play when it comes to that, and I appreciate it, especially when it comes to styles like this where there's a lot of parting and a lot of spaces exposed. You want it to look as much like skin as possible. Of course, it is lace, so it will be lace, it will do lace things, but you want it to be as close as possible. Now, in true 90s girl style, we gotta use some oil sheen, baby. We have to, because we have to be good and greased up like we just got baptized. You already know that. This is 90 girl thing over here, okay? We were shining. Now with my hairstyles, although I didn't do this one, the hairstyles that I did do, oh yeah. We was greased up, baby, and happy and healthy with that oil sheen. I absolutely love how this turned out, you guys, and it looks like it was a handful, but it was not. It really wasn't. And you can flex this any way you want to. If you have a scarf, a hat, whatever you want to do, you can let it loose. Now, the hair is beautiful as it is. You don't have to do any of this, but a lot of times you often see us wear the hair down, and you really don't see styling. So I wanted to show you how to style some different options. If you just want, let me just put the wig on, but I want to style it in certain ways. I want to see some of those options. I got you because I feel the same way. Let's put them on and then style it as if this was our hair. You know what I mean? So curly girls, hey, chime in. What are some other styles? When we plopping on these curly wigs, what are some of the styles that y'all love to do? Honey, if your natural hair looks like this, chime in, okay? Because we're in the styling season, guys. We're in the styling season. What else can we do with these wigs? Well, I'm going to show you something, because I know some things now. I went to hair school. I went to hair school, okay? So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna show you. But curly girls, chime in, okay? Because we want to know the inside scoop. So when we put these wigs on now, we may have to finagle because it's a wig, but the style is still the style. Okay? So you get your clip cloth, clip it up, wrap you a scarf around, y'all. It's so easy. That's actually another reason why I like to melt the lace when I'm doing any sort of updo, just so I can have the freedom to move about the way that I want to without worrying about the wig shifting or the lace lifting or anything like that. When it comes to styling, I just want to have the freedom to style it as if it were my hair. You know what I mean? I want it to feel as natural as possible, because believe it or not, that aids in better logistics when it comes to the styling. And you also become more creative when you're not constantly focused on the fact that it's a wig and you have to move a certain way or part it a certain way, or you kind of want to alleviate your mind of those things so you are able to increase your creativity, if you will. And that's something that people who do hair, that's something that we know just from doing hair. It is a mental gymnastics sort of thing. Like there's thought behind why this piece of hair goes here, or why this part is angled at a 45-degree angle, or why da. So if you're so focused on the fact that you have to move your wig a certain way, you're just cutting into that creativity and those waves, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, y'all. Look at that. I'm telling you, it's just giving, this is my hair. You know what? The more and more I look at this, the more I'm just like, wow, this wig is absolutely flawless. I really like this wig, y'all. It makes very little sense for that to look so good. That looks like my whole scalp, and that's a whole wig. Y'all, I ain't lying, look. Ooh, wait, wow. Yeah. I'm impressed by this wig. It just made the styling very easy, which was why I was just able to, flip the style so many different ways in a short period of time, because I could just focus on being in my era of just styling hair, not worrying about wig things, which makes a total difference. So I absolutely love working with this particular wig. Yeah. Even when I was pulling it up in the back, it looks so good because this is a 360. unit. And when you utilize those Invisi-straps, it cinches in the back. You don't see it. It just kind of, it's so hard. Well, actually, it's not really hard to explain. That's exactly what it does. It just pulls that back very close to the back of your neck, and you don't see it. You don't see any cap. So it just looks so naturally good, y'all. I think I'm feeling that side swoop. Which one? Do you guys like the middle 2 swoops or the side swoop better with this particular updo? Which one, you guys? I'm feeling this one right here. Now, I like the part in the middle with the 2 swoops on each side with Pride. But, honey, look how pretty the hair is, though. For this type of style, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This was very easy to achieve, and it definitely took me back to that era, y'all. I'm so happy that these styles are making their comeback, as most great things usually do. Nothing new under the sun. So again, big shout out to the girlies who was doing this with their natural hair. I absolutely was a fangirl of this style. I loved it. Now, there are many different ways that you can rock this. You don't have to do the bun with the, the hair fanning out. You can do a regular ponytail with this. And with that hair looking so scalp-ish, it really doesn't matter what you do. It's gonna come through. I'm telling you, oh man, I had a good time. I had a really good time styling this particular wig. Updos, low ponytails, buns. You could do space buns, you guys. The possibilities are really, really endless. So big shout out to 𝐻𝐈𝐑. Loving this wig, loving this style. How many of you guys are gonna try it? Oh my goodness, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Check it out. Peace, love, light.